first edition of the live stream coming to you from Mercurio'S Music and Restaurant Bar. This is going to be every first Thursday of the month event. We're going to do a video cast, and we're going to talk about music. We're going to discuss the stories behind music. We're going to talk about all the stories that are available with all these people in the Louisville area. We have some fantastic musicians in Louisville, in the region, and beyond. And there is a phenomenal story to be told for each one of those guys. And tonight, our very first pilot episode of Live at Mercurio'S is what we're bringing to you now. So I'm very honored, very appreciative of these guys that are sitting to my right to do this, to be a part of this very first edition of Live at Mercurio'S. And I want to introduce right now, without further ado, Pat Younger and Aaron Beeblehauser. Hi, guys.
Howdy.
So, in case you guys haven't heard the word yet, Pat Younger and Aaron and a bunch of other guys have put together a wonderful album. And they're going to do a CD release party right here at Mercurio'S Music and Resto Bar this Saturday at 7 p.m. So I would highly recommend, if you don't have anything to do, you should just come out and check out these guys, because I've heard just a little bit of this album, and what I've heard so far is phenomenal so far.
Thank you.
So I'm very happy to have these guys on stage. So I'm going to jump right into it. I want you guys to tell me a little bit about how this came about. How did everything come up? And when did you start this? Off camera, we were talking about it earlier, when this project started. So why don't you start there?
When I was 14, I got my first guitar.
It was Kiss Alive 2 album.
No, you know, this goes back a ways, really, from, you know, kind of being a latecomer to listening to Tim Krekel back around 2004 or 5, and learning to love the simplicity of his songs.
Yeah.
And
No doubt.
and then starting a band of my own, that's a whole other story, right?
Tim Krekel, actually, he was a big influence, and he inspired a lot of guys to get in the garage and start playing
Absolutely.
guitar.
I'm sure he still does. When he had his tribute out here the other night, you could see the love.
Certainly.
Yeah. So, so I think that's kind of where it started. In this version of life, writing songs. Had done so years ago when I was a teenager, but never really did anything with it. But, and then I started the band and wrote some songs. I wanted to do some original tunes in the band. And I wrote, 3 or 4 songs that we would do when we played out. And then that was, I guess, around 2009. 2016, kind of moving along here. My daughter started struggling with addiction, and I really, for no better words, needed some kind of outlet, and I found that expressing that pain and emotion and everything I was feeling through songwriting helped. So I found myself writing a lot of songs about addiction and recovery. I'm in recovery myself, so I understood, what she was going through. But as you know, it's something that affects the entire family, and
Oh, of course.
we're all powerless, right? And
Of course, yes.
only they can do something about it. But anyway, I started writing. Probably wrote, an album full of songs in just a couple of years about that, and even about some of my own, times with addiction.
Yes,
when I was younger.
and that's probably a very common theme, especially in this business. There's a lot of addictions of all sorts, especially in the music business. And when it reaches deep inside the family, that's another story. And I understand exactly what you're talking about, because I struggle with it within my family. I think addiction has probably touched many families.
I think it's hit everybody, really.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not affected personally, then you have a good friend or know someone that's affected. So,
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Well, both of you guys have had a very storied career in the music business, and I'm just dying to get to some of the juicy parts of it. So give us a little bit of insight of your career path and where you've been and what you've done. And Aaron, I'm gonna talk about how this album came about, but I wanna hear how everything started first.
Yeah, yeah. So I think it goes back to playing with the band and playing out and doing a lot of those songs, and then writing additional songs, like I said, from like 2016 to 2018, and then kind of really having enough songs that I felt like these are probably good enough to put on an album,
Yes.
or a CD, and although it was not kind of my personal struggle that I was going through as far as where these songs came from.
Sure.
I felt like maybe putting them out to the world would kind of be my message of experience, strength, and hope.
Yes.
So anyway, that's kind of where I was with it, and I don't know. This guy came along.
This guy.
He actually, I had him. He and his brother and Steve Cooley played at my 50th birthday party at Kalen's, the cheeseburger place.
Right on, right on.
As Mickey Clark used to say, in the Top Cheese Lounge
Right.
upstairs there.
That's right.
And
Rest in peace, Mickey. Right
yeah.
on. Yeah.
And we kind of formed a relationship and hit it right off. And I loved his songwriting and his vocals and his bands. And so I followed him around. And then I was talking with Bill Hughlin, another great local musician, bass player, who played on this album, one day about recording, and Bill said, "Hey, man, I just recorded something with Aaron. I think he's kind of getting into this recording stuff a little bit. You ought to ask him." So I reached out to Aaron, and he said, "Come on over, man, bring some songs with you." And I did, and I think while I was there that night, we wrote a song together.
Was it on a napkin? Most songs are on a napkin.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's been just a great experience working with this guy. Playing with Aaron is like being in a room with 5 session musicians.
It's like pushing a chain uphill.
I mean, the guy plays everything from banjo to pedal steel to keys to guitar, anything else.
Well, we'll talk about that. Where do you hail from, Aaron? Tell us all about your storied career.
I grew up not too far from this building right here. Matter of fact, and I live about 3 miles just right up Taylorsville Road here. But I went to high school in Seneca,
Right?
and then fast forward to Pat's 50th birthday party. No,
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of stories in between there and there.
I should send a big thank you to Mary Dawn, because she actually introduced me to Pat by hiring us to play at this
That's
party.
right. She booked the gig.
I knew Pat's name, but I didn't know Pat. I'd never met him. I'd never heard his music. And
It's all your fault.
And much like your Tim Krekel
Yes.
event that you had over here, that birthday party ended up turning into, well, we played music as a trio for a while, but then there was, as our old friend Denny Wheatley would say, there was enough musicians in there to start a homeless shelter. So we played a bunch of music with everybody jammed. Marty Miller was there.
Oh, my.
Nick was
Clark,
there.
John
and
Gage.
all these folks, great people, and I became a big fan of Pat's
Yeah.
singing and songwriting and his personality. We hit it off and became friends right away.
Yeah.
Pat's been very inspiring to me, and he was one of the first people to believe in me as a recording engineer, as a producer. So, actually, the very first one. This record came out of originally it was going to be a 4-song EP of Pat's music, and lots of things happened between now and then. And as of lately, has become a full album, and really proud of this guy's songwriting. And I remember sitting in this room one time. Pat had recruited me to come sit in for a few gigs here and there. But one time I showed up to this building. It was another establishment then, and I sat right down, right there where that camera is, and I sort of tweeted out to the universe. I said, "Pat Younger might be the best kept secret great singer in this town."
Yeah.
And I remember that inspired me.
I second that.
Once he asked about recording a record, I was just like, "Well, yeah, I'd love to make a record with you." So,
Yeah, that's
there we
a
are.
hell yeah. I
Yeah.
get that.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Well, I'm saying that I'm really proud of him, but really he should be proud of himself. So thank you for
Thank you.
believing in me.
Well, while we were setting up tonight, you guys were doing a sound check, and some of the stuff that you guys were playing was phenomenal. I know a lot of people in this room are very appreciative of you guys being here. Excuse me. And so I want to get right to it. I want to hear a couple of these tunes, but first, Doug Roberts is here. He's going to be on the last segment here. We're going to talk. First of all, let me just tell everybody we're going to do find out the story behind this to hear about how it came about. We're going to listen to a couple of the songs, 2 or 3 of the songs, and then we're going to wrap up the show. We're going to give you a little glimpse of what's going on in the city music landscape here in the city of Louisville. We've got Doug Roberts on hand. He's off stage, and he'll be up here in just a few minutes. But without further ado, I'm going to turn off my mic because I'm getting a little bit of feedback, and I want to hear you guys play a couple of songs. And I know everybody out there does.
Sure.
I'm going to step off, and I'm going to turn off my mic.
Awesome. Thank you. This is a song called Skid Row's State of Mind that I wrote back in like 2011.
If you're playing along at home with the live stream, we're in A. I don't know what harmonica to use, but
You ready?
Yeah.
The trains are running up and down these tracks. Take me to the places that I roam. I meet a lot of friends, state a lot of facts. To these boxcars we call home. And all I've got is Jesus and time. I'm in a Skid Row state of mind. All I got is Jesus and wine. I'm in a Skid Row state of mind. I saw Ed Lincoln out on the freeway. He was hitching a ride back up north. Said a civil war is coming our way. This time it's the rich against the poor. And all I got is Jesus and time. I'm in a Skid Row state of mind. All I got is Jesus and wine. I'm in a Skid Row state of mind. Saw John Lennon down in the city. Said imagine a world without hate. I said, hey John, this world shows me no pity, because this bottle holds my fate. And all I got is Jesus and time. I'm in a Skid Row state of mind. All I got is Jesus and wine. I'm in a Skid Row state of mind. Trains are running up and down these tracks. Take me to the places that I roam. I meet a lot of friends, Skid Row state of mind. All I got is Jesus in time. I'm in a Skid Row state of mind. All I've got is Jesus and wine. I'm in a Skid Row state of mind. Thank you.
That was awesome. That was good. That was good stuff. I'm gonna get my board right here.
There we go.
So,
Take a drink.
you said earlier off camera that you started this project back in 2018.
Technically, yes.
Technically.
Yeah.
How did that all start? How did that come about?
Yeah, so you know, got in touch with Aaron. We decided to do the EP, and this album, this full album, was actually recorded in 3 different home studios in Louisville.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
which is amazing in itself. But yeah, I guess the first thing we did was kind of put the band together, and you know, the rhythm section, which is Bill Hughlin, who I mentioned earlier, and a guy named Jesse Hall, who's one of the most fabulous drummers in town.
Yeah.
Plays with a few bands. We met over at Tim Brothers. I don't know if you know Tim. Tim's a local music guy. Has a very nice home studio in his basement, and we met over there to actually do the rhythm pieces.
Yeah.
Do the rhythm parts, and we kind of laid that down at Tim's place. The bass and drum for 9 songs. And another guy I need to mention here, a guy named Donnie Bott, who is more of a sound engineer, has been a part of this thing since the beginning.
Right.
Also has a home studio out in the South End, a very nice studio.
Sound is important.
Yeah, sound is important, and Donnie's a great sound guy.
Yeah.
But I actually went to Donnie's and recorded my vocals and my guitar on all the songs on the album.
Sure. Yeah.
And then Aaron actually happens to have a home studio as well,
Right.
which made it convenient to pull in all these musicians that played on the record, and they could just track at his house.
So pretty much all of the
Those
other
directions.
parts and pieces that you
Yeah.
hear. Drums and bass were at Tim's studio, Tim Coe.
Yeah.
And then Donnie Bott, I think BBD Labs is the name of his studio.
Right.
Wow.
And he also is the mastering engineer on the.
That's
I
right.
mixed. We actually both mixed part of this record. We both worked together on it. It was all a big team effort, but all the sort of utility parts, the pedal steel, the piano, there's some dobro, there's fiddle. Michael Cleveland plays fiddle on a song or two. And
No kidding. I didn't
and
know.
then
Michael was in here. Not
yeah, and then let's see, Sarah Bright. She came over and sang a bunch of backing
Now
vocal
she'll
stuff.
be here Saturday, correct?
She'll be here with
Yeah.
the full band Saturday. But all those parts and pieces we did at my studio, and then
Yeah.
between Donnie's place and my place, we mixed it all and
Yeah.
worked
Yeah.
together on it.
Actually, we brought Will and Gage in
Oh, yeah.
to play
Played on a couple
couple songs, couple guitar parts.
I got a confession to make. The Crackle Pets thing that we hosted here a few weeks back, it was the first time I ever got to see Will play.
Oh, he's a badass.
Oh,
yeah.
badass
So
in
good.
the drum.
So
good.
He was phenomenal. And last time I talked to him, I think he's in Austin City right now. He's on the circuit on the tour.
Yeah.
He's trying to get some things going, which that dude should be on the world
Oh,
stage.
yeah.
And I told him that night. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
you should be on the world stage. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
He's that good. He's badass. But getting back to you guys though, so I hear a lot of times that you can actually record these songs, with the internet and the connectivity that we have, and everybody's connected nowadays. It seems like you can record, different parts of the world if you wanted to put everything together. In fact, we did that. Murph, the Musicians Emergency Resource Foundation, we did that very thing a few years back for Light Up Louisville. We created this video and we pieced it all together. Tell me a little bit about that process. was everybody in the same room at the same time? Were you guys spread out a little bit? I mean, did you piece it together?
Yeah.
Who arranged
When
it?
we
You could
record,
probably talk to that.
yeah, when we recorded the rhythm section, the drummer and the bass player, Jesse and Bill, were both just right next to each other. Of course, we mic'd up the bass amp in another room.
Sure.
But, and Pat, we stuck Pat back in a closet.
It was.
It was actually one of those old coal rooms, I think.
It was.
But, he came out of there clean as a whistle. So. But yeah, we were, Donnie and I were helping engineer. I was more producing and I wasn't really engineering anything. I never even touched a microphone, I don't think, on those sessions. But yeah, I was more helping creatively, let's figure out how we're gonna start the song, what's gonna happen, verse, chorus, bridge, helping arrange songs,
Right.
sort of pre-production work. I helped Pat figure all that out. And yeah, so we cut all that stuff together, and then, like I said, all the other parts and pieces were done completely separately.
Yeah.
It's
crazy.
really cool. It is cool and crazy, at the same time. It's not like it's the old Sun Studios back in '56 when it all started, It's
Not
like that.
not one piece of tape was harmed in the creation of this
Right on.
record.
So did any,
My mic is going in and out. So, did any songs, speaking of that, did any songs hit the floor, didn't get a chance to get on the album? I mean, I know that a lot of times you have a whole bevy of songs, but some of them don't make the cut.
I don't
Yeah,
think we did
no,
that. I
no,
think
we
recorded
pretty
them all.
much stayed with the 10 songs that we started out with.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think one song, 60 Days, which was kind of a tribute to my daughter in her first 60 days of sobriety, was much more of a scaled down version with not the full band.
Right.
But just me and Aaron on dobro and
That was one of the Michael Cleveland fiddle
Michael
features.
Cleveland on
Okay.
fiddle and twin fiddles actually. Yeah.
He's phenomenal. There's no doubt. So where can everybody get this album?
So they can get it at the CD release party.
Right here, Saturday.
This Saturday night at Mercurio'S
Right on.
in downtown Hikes Point.
Beautiful.
Beautiful downtown Hikes Point. 7 o'clock. Yeah, you can get it there. You can get it online. I mean, it's on all the music streaming platforms. So if you go to Spotify or wherever you listen to music.
Okay, all right, well, right on. I'm definitely looking forward to this, and I know it's gonna be a big hit with everybody. And so I'm gonna put John
We should
here.
play another one.
I wanna hear some
Yeah.
more of this. I know everybody
All right.
else.
Yeah,
We're gonna
absolutely.
play it, Pat.
Let's do Palo Verde.
Again, if you're playing along at home, maybe Jeff Guernsey's tuning in. He's practicing for the gig. We're in G, Jeff. He's not practicing.
Ready?
Yep. 1, 2, 1.
Thank
Walnut Street. They're getting ready for the Friday night fight. But you can bet before the night is through, somebody's fighting man. A wild little woman or a game of pool, somehow they've been had. Well, the fists will start a-flying as the beer spills on the floor. The cops come, lock 'em up, and it all starts again once more. Well, down at the Palo Verde, jukebox blaring away. Somebody just pushed B-17. It's Harbor Valley PT Day. Well, the joint is really jumping. They're getting ready for Friday night. Down at 626 East Walnut Street. They're getting ready for the Friday night fight. We got bikers in the back. We got pool balls in the rack. We got lots of guns and knives. Guns and knives. Guns and knives. Well, down at the Palo Verde, jukebox blaring away. Somebody just pushed B-17. It's Harbor Valley PT Day. Well, the joint is really jumping. They're getting ready for Friday night. Down at 626 East Walnut Street, they're getting ready for the Friday night fight. Down at 626 East Walnut Street, they're getting ready for the Friday night fight. Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome stuff. Now, I know for a fact that song has got to have some kind of meaning to it because, and I might be showing my ignorance here, but I've never heard of Palo Verde before. So, is this a place? Is it where was it?
So this was the Palo Verde was a real bar in the inner city.
Not Palo Verde.
Not
Palo
Palo
Verde.
Verde.
Palo Verde.
Palo Verde.
Real white.
That's how they say it in inner city.
Down south?
Palo Verde.
It was at 626 East Walnut Street,
Well,
as it
actually,
turns out.
yeah, actually the song kind of
Muhammad Ali.
hit. I hit two bars with one song. So here's what I did. The Palo Verde was a place that my mom and dad went to back in the 50s and 60s. Had a little jukebox on the wall, little table in the back. You could probably get a cheeseburger. There was a fight every Friday night.
Lots of guns and
Maybe a little
knives.
rough crowd, might be able to find something. One of those big long 21-foot Cadillacs out back with a TV in it, the trunk or something. But anyway, it was a place that my mom and dad went, and so there was another bar on Walnut Street, about half a block up, called the 626 Bar.
Okay.
And I actually was in that bar. Remember being there when being in there with a little kid, throwing pool balls around or whatever. And come to find out, I always thought that the 626 and the Palo Verde were the same bar. Actually, the Palo Verde was down the street, and it existed before the 626. So actually hit two bars with one song. By mistake, but it worked.
It does work. It worked very well. I want to go find both.
And I don't know if 600 East Walnut Street would have worked. 626 it's got to be there. So.
Muhammad Ali.
Right.
Yeah,
Now,
Yeah.
Okay, so what, after the CD release, you know, after this thing gets put out, and, you know, everybody falls in love with it, they'll probably never come back here again. They'll be, you know, out there.
I'll be begging for a gig next week.
So what's next for you guys?
That's a good question.
Pat's gonna win a major record label deal, probably have like $100,000 budget, and he's gonna hire me to produce it.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Aaron is we didn't mention that Aaron is a DJ, right, on a local radio station. So I need him to pitch this album to other DJs. You know, see where we can go with
They'll
it.
play it if they hear it, I'll get it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna, you know, continue writing, continue, you know, playing with my band.
Yes?
Maybe doing some other mixes of that, you know. We'll see what happens after the first year, but yeah, I've got a lot more songs out there that you know that I like to get out, and you know, I see at least probably an EP or another album coming out.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome.
Hopefully next year.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's hope it doesn't take as long as the last one. But, yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes it just takes a while,
Sometimes it just takes.
I get it.
which leads us to our next song title.
That's right. That's right.
So tell us one more time where we can get this album.
You can get this album if you want the physical CD. You can come to Mercurio'S Saturday night for the CD release party, Pat Younger CD release party. Aaron will be with me. Some great musicians, kind of a who's who of Louisville musicians playing with me. I'm very fortunate to have this band backing me up Saturday night. So you can get one here. See my wife, Mary Dawn. She will have a little merch table with some CDs and stickers and maybe a few posters. Or, you know, if you want to hit me up on social media, message me, private message me. I'll be happy to. We can do Venmo or PayPal or whatever, and we can get you one.
Yeah, certainly. You got, I'm sure there's Pat Younger Facebook page out there somewhere. Right?
There is.
And there's probably
Yeah.
Twitter and all that. I don't know. I'm not very
No, not really.
social networking guy, you know.
I'm on Facebook. That's about it.
Okay, so that'll work. That'll work. So, okay, so you heard it here. So you can get it right here this Saturday at 7 o'clock. Right?
That's right.
You can get that CD here. You can get it, you know, private messaging on Facebook. You can get it there. What is so when we come back, we're gonna I'm gonna change out here. We're gonna have Doug Roberts come back up here. We're gonna wrap up the show with telling everybody what's going on in the city of Louisville as far as music's concerned, the music landscape, where everybody's playing, what everybody's doing, that kind of thing. But what is the name of this tune that you're gonna?
Yeah. So this next song is called "It Just Takes a While," and I actually wrote this song about a young fella who was struggling with addiction, and you know, just kind of the family frustration, if you will, and all the emotional roller coaster that you go through with all that, and sometimes recovery just takes a while.
It does, and it takes a support mechanism around it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get
You
you.
just gotta keep coming back.
Certainly. Well, okay, so I'm gonna step out and we're gonna let these guys finish up. Aaron, Pat, it's fantastic. having you guys.
Appreciate
I
you.
really appreciate
Thank you
guys
for
being
having
here
us.
on the very first edition.
Yeah. For the first one, man, I feel special.
Right.
Yeah.
Cheers.
So, all right.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do it. One more. It just takes a while. Indeed, right?
It's in G, it starts on
Yeah.
G, yeah.
We know. Ready?
1, 2, 3.
place where you can face all the fear. It just takes a while before the healing. It takes some time before we begin to smile. It just takes a while to start believing. Yeah, sometimes it just takes a while. State just said 230 had this year. Are you gonna make it 231? 'Cause every time you pick up a needle, it's like taking a shot with a half-loaded gun. Veins and lives are now collapsed and broken. Friends and loved ones send you on your way. Daylight finds you searching again and hoping for another fix, another dark, useless day. It just takes a while before the healing. It takes some time before we begin to smile. It just takes a while to start believing. Yeah, sometimes it just takes a while. It just takes a while before the healing. It takes some time before we begin to smile. It just takes a while to start believing. Yeah, sometimes it just takes a while. Yeah, sometimes it just takes a while. Yeah, sometimes it just takes a while. Thank you.
Hey, listen, so Doug Roberts had to run off to go to band practice. So we're going to finish the show right here. I want to thank Aaron, Pat Young, both of you guys. I really appreciate you being here for this first edition of the Mercurio'S. And Pat, Aaron, I wish you guys all the best on your endeavor with this album. I know it's going to be fabulous. I know it's going to be well received. And come out Saturday right here at the Mercurio'S, 7 o'clock. Pat, Aaron, Sarah, and
I just want to say thank you for having us, and thanks for everything you're doing for local music right now.
oh, I appreciate that. I do. It's a passion of ours. I really do. It's live music and the landscape of Louisville music. It needs to be promoted a lot more.
Absolutely.
And so we're trying to do our part. I really appreciate you guys. I really do.
There's 1.25 million people in this town. We need about half of them to show up.
Maybe not in this room. We can try. Anyway, I want to thank everybody at home for watching this. This is the very first edition of Live at Mercurio'S. We're going to do this the first Thursday of every month, and then when we get some meat and potatoes behind us, it'll probably be a lot more. It might be once or bi-weekly at the very least. So anyway, thank you very much. Thank you, Pat. Thank you, Aaron.
Yeah.
Thanks for being out there.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Service is ended. Go in peace.